everybody, this is Devin with the Present Parent Series, and I'm here to bring you a video about breaking generational curses. I first want to shout out my girl Jaya Lore. I have this awesome ring light. It's going to help with the quality of my videos, so if you want to get a ring light from Jaya Lore, I'll make sure to put her information under this video. But today I just want to talk about breaking generational curses. So these are just things that we deal with mostly in childhood, things that we notate that happen when we're really young, and things that we just don't want to see happen in future generations. So I've crafted a list, a very short list, because I'm sure there's more stuff that I want to eventually break in the future, but these are the things that came to my mind first. All right, so the first generational curse that I want to break is saying I love you. I did not grow up in a family that said I love you a lot. Instead, love was shown through actions. So showing up to softball games and cheerleading competitions, showing up to award ceremonies when you made the honor roll. A lot of, I'm very proud of you. You're a good kid, you're responsible. Saying be safe when you're walking out of the door. Let me know when you get there. Stuff like that. So those actions and things showed me that I knew that I was loved growing up, but you didn't hear a lot of I love you. So that's definitely something that I currently do with my son, even though I'm sure he doesn't really understand it that much, but I do tell him I love him very, very often, and that's something that will never change. That's something that I want him to be able to reciprocate back to me and to his future children if he desires to have children, and to other family members in whom he also loves. The second thing is establishing a college fund. So we started a college fund when my son was born, and it's mainly because me and his dad are in debt to the Department of Education. And so I do not want that to be a hardship for my son, nor deter him on wanting to go to college or having a hard time paying back student loans. Hopefully student loans will not be a thing when he goes to college, but at the rate it's going, it's a good business for the Department of Education, because as we know, most of us have student loans and are struggling to pay those back. So that's something that I do not want my son to experience growing up. I want him to come out of college debt-free. The third thing is life insurance, something that has been a huge conversation lately about making sure that we maintain our life insurance policies, obtain and maintain. If you go back to my last video I posted, it was about life insurance and the life insurance agent that I worked with, if you want more information on that. But this is something that when I'm dead and gone, that I want my son to be able to have money. I want him to be able to purchase his needs and his wants, whether it's starting a business, whether it's him paying off his car or having a huge down payment on his house, whatever that he needs. If he needs to catch up on bills or pay down some debt, he will have that opportunity. I don't want to pass away and then they're scrambling to bury me, or my son is scrambling, to do anything. So I really want to make sure that he has a good financial head start, because a lot of us, unfortunately, didn't get that. We literally have hustled our whole lives. And though I want my son to have a hustle spirit, I want him to also be able to have that financial head start as well. So making sure that I'm obtaining my life insurance and that he has money when it's time for me to go on. This might not necessarily be a generational curse, but it is like a tradition that I want to break. So growing up, every year we would have Thanksgiving at my house or other family members' houses, and then Christmas was always at my grandma's house. While I do enjoy that, I think we maybe decided to travel sometimes for the Thanksgiving holidays and staying home for Christmas. So I do want to continue that tradition of traveling to other places, having different experiences, while still being able to eat the traditional turkey and ham and all the fixings, but trying that in a different place. Doesn't always have to be, by flight. Could be a cruise. It could be, a road trip, could be to the mountains, just something different, and just the three of us and whoever else will be a part of our future family. But for right now, just the three of us. So that's definitely something that I want to do. Family vacations for the holidays, family vacations throughout the year, and really making that part of our routine so that when my son grows up, and he starts to interact with, you know, friends that he makes in college or in high school, he can share those experiences with him and encourage them to travel. My first time on an airplane was in college, like my junior year, and I went to Atlanta. And I went to New York, and it was scotch-free. So shout out to the Thurgood Marshall program. They paid for me and several other students to go on these Leadership Institute scotch-free, and it was probably the best experience of my life. The last two things is about establishing credit, managing money, and investing in stocks. So I've always been a naturally good saver. Not sure who I got my savings gene from, but I remember in college I saved a lot of my refund checks, and I worked on campus as well at the front desk, and I used to save a lot of that money as well because I didn't really have any expenses. You know, I was living on campus, so I didn't have any bills like a light bill or a water bill or anything like that. I didn't drive at the time. I didn't start driving until I was basically a senior. So I didn't have to put gas in my car or any oil change or anything like that. I saved up $5,000 and I bought my first car in cash. So I didn't have a car note, and I drove that car until I got into a car accident in November of 2018. So definitely encouraging my son to save money, making sure that he always have $1,000 in emergency savings. And in the days that we're living in now, we definitely have to have more than 1,000, because I pray that we never see a pandemic again. But if we do, you know, he will have that money to tap into. Making sure that he establishes a credit, making sure he always pays his credit card bill on time and in full, not getting caught up in paying the minimum, because that will continue to build interest and affect your credit score. So making sure he stays on top of that. If you can't buy it out of the money that's in your account, then you don't need it that bad. Investing in stocks, that's definitely something I wish that someone had told me about when I was 18, when I was spending my refund checks on tattoos and really dumb stuff, right? I wish someone had told me like, hey, you know, you can invest this money into the stock market. That wasn't a conversation at all in my household. I never remember hearing the word stocks. Really got into stocks maybe like last year or 2 years ago. So that's definitely something that I'm planning on starting for my son pretty soon, so that he can have that money to sit on and take out as needed. The last thing is with the college fund that I started, it's not only for a 4-year university. He can also decide to go to a 2-year university, which obviously is less money. He can decide to transfer in if he wants. It's also for trade schools, so that if he wants to become a barber, if he wants to become an electrician, a welder, he has those opportunities. Want to go to culinary school. I just want that to be scotch free for him. I don't want to ingrain in my son, you have to go to a 4-year university. Although I will never trade, you know, my 5-year experience at Central for the world. It was some of the best times, and I have lots of memories with some really awesome people that I still keep in touch with. So I am going to encourage he go seek a 4-year degree, not only to get a degree, but for the ultimate experience. I learned a lot of long life lessons, lifelong lessons from going to school, and obviously encouraging him to get a degree in something that is going to make him a substantial amount of money. And also encouraging him to start a business. So even with some of these funds from life insurance, from his own investment account or any other accounts that we have, he can start a business. So that won't be a thing where he has to go apply for a business loan. Maybe he still might have to, or have to start a GoFundMe, but we'll have access to those funds for whatever it is that he wants to do. So I hope this video was informative, and I hope that it will encourage you all to start college funds for your kids, or to set up life insurance, so that your spouses, your children, your nieces and nephews, whoever that you're going to leave your money to, is able to get that financial head start that we all, should have gotten, and that we all need. I hope it'll help you to write down what generational curses that you want to break in your own family, or just even simple things such as tradition. I'm not sure if I hit everything on the head. So if you think of some generational curses, share with me below, and I will be talking to you guys very soon. Happy holidays.